The studio lights beamed down brightly as Blake Shelton sauntered onto the set of The View, his cowboy boots echoing slightly against the polished floor. The audience erupted in applause, cheering for the country music superstar who had come to promote his latest album and share some light-hearted stories about life with Gwen Stefani. Joy Behar, seated at the far end of the panel, adjusted her glasses and flashed a wry smile, already preparing her signature pointed questions. Whoopi Goldberg kicked off the segment with a warm welcome, asking Blake about his recent tour experiences and how he balances fame with family. Blake responded with his trademark charm, cracking jokes that had the co-hosts laughing. But as the conversation shifted to politics, a topic The View is notorious for diving into, Joy interjected sharply. She questioned Blake's support for certain conservative figures, implying his views were out of touch with modern America. Blake, usually laid back, furrowed his brow but kept his cool initially, defending his stance by saying he believes in personal freedoms and hard work. The exchange heated up when Joy pressed further, accusing him of ignoring social issues affecting minorities. The audience murmured, sensing the tension rising. Blake leaned forward, his voice steady but firm, countering that he doesn't pretend to be a politician, but speaks from his heart as an American. Joy rolled her eyes dramatically, which didn't sit well with Blake. He shot back, "You know, Joy, it's easy to sit here and judge from your ivory tower. But I've been out there in the real world." The panel fell silent for a moment, and Sonny Hostin tried to mediate, but the spark had been lit. Alyssa Farah Griffin chimed in with a more balanced take, but Joy doubled down, calling Blake's music escapist fluff that avoids real problems. That's when Blake's patience began to fray visibly. He shook his head, chuckling bitterly, and said, "Lady, you don't know a thing about my life or my songs." The commercial break couldn't come soon enough, but the cameras kept rolling, capturing every uncomfortable glance. Back from break, the clash intensified as Joy referenced an old interview, where Blake had made comments about cancel culture. She twisted his words, suggesting he was insensitive to progressive movements. Blake, now red-faced, slammed his hand on the table lightly, exclaiming, "That's not what I said, and you know it!" The audience gasped, some cheering, others booing. Whoopi tried to steer the ship, but Blake wasn't having it. He stood up abruptly, microphone still clipped on, and pointed at Joy. "I'm done with this ambush. You invited me here to talk music, not to be your punching bag." Joy smirked, retorting, "Oh, please, sit down, cowboy. This is live TV." But Blake unclipped his mic and tossed it on the couch, storming off the set amid stunned silence. The producers scrambled, cutting to an unplanned segment, while social media exploded with clips of the eruption. Fans debated whether Blake was justified or if Joy had crossed a line. Later reports suggested backstage apologies were attempted, but the damage was done. This brutal clash highlighted the divide between Hollywood liberals and country conservatives, making headlines across entertainment news. Blake's team issued a statement praising his authenticity, while The View's ratings spiked from the drama. In the end, it was a moment that reminded everyone how quickly a friendly chat can turn into a battlefield of ideologies. As the dust settled from Blake Shelton's dramatic exit on The View, recaps flooded the internet. dissecting every word and gesture from the brutal clash with Joy Behar. Viewers at home rewound the footage, analyzing Blake's body language as he transitioned from jovial guest to irate participant. Joy, known for her no-holds-barred style, seemed unfazed on camera, but insiders whispered she was shaken by the intensity. The segment had started innocently enough, with Blake sharing anecdotes about his farm life and how it inspires his lyrics. Sarah Haynes asked about his collaboration with Post Malone, lightening the mood temporarily. But Joy, ever the provocateur, steered back to controversy, questioning Blake's endorsement of gun rights in light of recent events. Blake responded thoughtfully, emphasizing responsible ownership and his rural upbringing. Joy countered with statistics on gun violence, her tone accusatory. The back and forth escalated when Blake accused the show of bias, saying, "You all preach tolerance, but can't handle a differing opinion." The audience split, with applause from some quarters. Ana Navarro jumped in, defending Joy, which only fueled Blake's frustration. He raised his voice. "This isn't a debate, it's a setup." Joy laughed it off, but her quip about country stars being out of touch ignited the final eruption. Blake stood, his tall frame towering over the panel, and declared, "I'm not gonna sit here and be disrespected." As he walked off, the cameras captured Joy's wide-eyed expression, a rare moment of vulnerability. Post-show, Blake tweeted cryptically about fake hospitality, garnering millions of likes. Joy addressed it on the next episode, calling it passionate discourse, but critics accused her of bullying. The incident sparked broader discussions on civility in media, with pundits weighing in on both sides. Blake's fans rallied, boycotting The View, while others praised Joy for holding guests accountable. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly reviewed protocols for handling heated exchanges. Gwen Stefani publicly supported her husband, posting a photo with a caption about standing up for beliefs. The clash became a viral meme, with edits superimposing Blake's face on various outburst scenes from movies. Entertainment outlets speculated on whether this would affect Blake's career or boost his rebel image. In interviews following, Blake admitted he regretted the walk-off, but not defending himself. Joy, in her memoir excerpts leaked later, described it as one of the most electric moments on the show. The event underscored the polarization in American culture, where a simple TV appearance can explode into national news. Months later, parodies on SNL immortalized the moment, with actors exaggerating the drama for laughs. Ultimately, it was a clash that neither side fully won, but both gained from the publicity. Delving deeper into the aftermath of Blake Shelton's eruption on The View, the brutal clash with Joy Behar continued to dominate headlines, fueling debates across talk shows and podcasts. Analysts pointed out how the incident exposed the chasm between coastal elites and heartland values, with Blake representing the latter. Social media users created threads compiling past Joy confrontations, comparing this to her spats with other conservatives. Blake, in a follow-up appearance on a friendly podcast, elaborated on his side, claiming the questions were premeditated to provoke. He described feeling cornered, like a bull in a china shop. Joy, during a solo interview, defended her approach, stating, "I ask the tough questions because viewers deserve honesty." The View's co-hosts varied in their responses, Whoopi expressed disappointment in the escalation, while Sunny called for more empathy. Fan reactions were polarized. Country music enthusiasts hailed Blake as a hero, flooding his concerts with signs of support. Progressive viewers sided with Joy, accusing Blake of fragility. The video clip amassed over 50 million views on YouTube, spawning reaction videos from influencers. Legal experts pondered if defamation suits could arise, but none materialized. Instead, merchandise popped up, like T-shirts saying, "Blake erupts." The show's ratings soared, proving controversy sells. Blake's album sales spiked too, as the publicity drew curious listeners. Gwen Stefani's involvement added a layer, with tabloids speculating on how it affected their marriage. She dismissed rumors, saying it strengthened their bond. Critics reviewed the exchange for gender dynamics, noting how Joy's assertiveness was labeled brutal, while Blake's was erupting. Media studies classes used it as a case study on live TV unpredictability. Parodies extended to late night shows, with hosts mimicking the accents and gestures. Blake joked about it at awards ceremonies, turning the negative into humor. Joy invited similar guests post-incident, perhaps to recreate the buzz. The clash inspired songs from indie artists satirizing celebrity feuds. In retrospect, it was a perfect storm of personalities. Blake's folksy directness versus Joy's sharp wit. No apologies were publicly exchanged, maintaining the intrigue. Years later, it might be remembered as a pivotal moment in daytime TV history, where boundaries were tested live. The event also prompted The View to implement subtle changes, like pre-interview agreements on topics. For Blake, it reinforced his image as unfiltered, endearing him further to fans. Joy's reputation as a formidable interviewer only grew. Overall, the brutal clash served as a mirror to society's divisions, amplified through the lens of entertainment. Reflecting on the build-up to Blake Shelton's live eruption on The View, the brutal clash with Joy Behar didn't emerge from nowhere. Tensions simmered from the moment he was booked. Producers aimed for a mix of entertainment and edge, knowing Blake's conservative leanings could spark with the liberal panel. Pre-show, Blake's team requested light topics, but The View thrives on spontaneity. As Blake settled in, the initial banter was amiable, with questions about his voice coaching days. Joy waited her turn, then launched into climate change, linking it to Blake's Oklahoma roots affected by weather events. Blake acknowledged the issue but disagreed on solutions, favoring practical over radical changes. Joy pressed, calling his view denialist. That's when the tone shifted. Blake retorted, "I'm no scientist, but neither are you." Joy. Laughter from the audience was nervous. Behar fired back with a quip about celebrities influencing policy without expertise. Blake, growing agitated, referenced her past comments on other stars. The exchange turned personal when Joy mentioned Gwen's pop background contrasting Blake's country. He snapped, "Leave my wife out of this." The panel intervened, but the damage escalated. Blake's voice rose, accusing the show of liberal echo chamber. Joy smiled slyly, "Welcome to The View, darling." The eruption peaked as Blake stood, yelling, "I've had enough of this nonsense!" Storming off, he muttered expletives caught on hot mic. Post-broadcast, networks replayed the clip endlessly. Blake's publicist spun it as standing against bullying. Joy's fans praised her tenacity. The incident trended globally, with international media covering the American cultural rift. Celebrities weighed in. Some supported Blake's walkout, others Joy's probing. It sparked petitions for more balanced panels on talk shows. Blake performed a song inspired by the event at his next concert to roaring approval. Joy referenced it humorously in her stand-up routines. The clash became fodder for books on media conflicts. Analysts noted how live TV amplifies raw emotions, unlike scripted formats. For viewers, it was thrilling drama, boosting engagement. The View's advertisers saw increased exposure. Blake's brand evolved, attracting edgier endorsements. Joy's book sales rose with the notoriety. In essence, the brutal confrontation was a win for publicity, though at the cost of civility. It highlighted how personalities clash in pursuit of ratings. Future guests might think twice, but the allure of viral moments persists. The event etched itself into pop culture, a testament to unscripted chaos.